What's up, everybody? What's going on? Whether you are watching this live or on replay, I really appreciate your support. I need you to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to this channel. Also, we appreciate your support by dropping through, sending a like, and via Cash App by $SISL. And today's content is a little bit more serious than um, it normally is. Normally, I'm trying to do something a little funny, a little inspirational, things like that. And every once in a while, we run across some news topics that we want to discuss. And on today, we'd like to discuss Miss Sonya Massey. Um, and we will introduce you in just a few minutes here on exactly who Sonya Massey is exactly and why is her name so relevant at this time. Also, if you are would like to have comments or if you have something that you want to add to the topic, you are welcome to join the platform. Um, and I have to say that I'm only going to take people that I know at this point because we're not going to. Well, you have to show your face in order to get on the platform. I don't want any foolishness. But I am waiting, hopefully, to be joined by a couple of people. But if not, we're going to go ahead and start this evening's show. And, I just want to add that I'm going to give condolences out to the Massey family while they're mourning the loss of their daughter. I'm sorry, I missed. Okay. While they're mourning the loss of the daughter, the mom, the sister, the niece, the friend that we are now getting to know as Sonya Massey. We have a few things I want to share with you by way of whether it be a clip or video or something like that, and we're going to kind of break down some of the circumstances surrounding this injustice. I'm going to go through the police video. I'm going to let you watch it in full in case you haven't seen it. I'm also going to go through the autopsy video. And I'm going to go and break down each portion of the autopsy video. And also, we are going to, discuss some of the things that the family had to say their input on this situation. I am really, my heart is in this. One, because I'm a Black woman. Two, because I gave birth to 3 Black women who then gave birth to Black women, young women. And, in the 60s, the 70s, the 50s, and on back, we had to fight for civil rights, and there were those Malcolm X's, Martin Luther King's, and Medgar Evers, and, you know, these people that paved the way for civil rights and fought for our rights, for the rights of blacks, minorities. Uh, this is just a changing of the guard. This is just a passing of the torch. But somebody has to pick it up. It hurts me to see that we have so many of our young people that are not even interested in registering to vote, nor are they even remotely interested in in voting. And I continue to remind my children, like, if you do not, in your 20s and 30s and almost 40s, if you do not take advantage of your right to vote, not only is it a slap on the face of your children in the future, it's a slap in your own face, and it's a slap in the face of the forefathers who died for you to have that right. But it also takes away your voice to be able to speak. If you don't vote, Roe v. Wade and LGBT rights and equal rights and the right to choose, the right to die, the right to live, whatever your stance is, if you don't vote it and the opposite occurs, you can't complain. You don't have a voice. You need to know that. You don't have a voice. If you forever just sit back and do nothing, nothing will be done. If you all just let things go, continue to just let things go because it's easier to do that, then they'll forever go. And before you know it, you can very well end up with, especially with certain administrations, you can very well end up back on plantations. If not a cotton field, a mill somewhere, auto company, whatever the situation is. If you do not take advantage of your rights as a citizen to vote, it's a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face of the forefathers. It's a slap in the face of your children's children. And it's a slap in your own face because you lose your voice. So I want to encourage everybody. Go to your polls. Some have primaries coming up in another week or two. And then we have the main election in November. And at this point, it's going to be a problem if we don't vote. Okay, it's going to be a problem. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started with this story. For anybody that has not heard by now, this story is about, and forgive me if I don't greet everyone at once. I'm reading something, so my eyes are on the screen, but I thank you for coming in. This story is about 36-year-old Sonya Massey, who was gunned down by a Springfield, Illinois police officer And the story goes as, according to the Courier Journal, a 36-year-old Black woman called 911 to report a potential intruder in her home on July 6th. She was fatally shot in her home in Springfield, Illinois, by one of the responding officers. Who is Sonya Massey? Well, here's what we know. Sonya Massey called 911 earlier tonight to report a potential intruder in her home. Massey appeared calm when the deputies arrived and entered her home to ensure her that the residence was safe, according to the documents obtained by the USA Today. Deputy Sean Grayson noted a pot of hot water on the stove while inside Massey's home, and he asked her to remove it to prevent any accidental fires. Now, the body cam footage of the encounter shows that Grayson made a comment about the pot while in the living room, and Massey is seen responding to Grayson, setting the pot on the counter as Grayson stands in the living room, according to court documents. Grayson then drew his gun, threatening to shoot Massey in the face, documents say. Seeing the drawn weapon, Miss Massey put her hands in the air and stated, "I'm sorry," while ducking for cover behind the counter that separated them. Grayson proceeded to close the distance between he and Massey, and he fired. He fired the gun 3 times, shooting Massey in the face. Grayson's body cam was not turned on until after he shot Massey, but the other deputy had theirs on for the entire reaction. The other deputy tried to render aid, and Grayson never made an attempt to render aid. As a matter of fact, it was also seen on the video footage that he discouraged the other responding officer into even assist. The body camera footage was released July 22nd and revealed how the incident escalated by Grayson. The incident was escalated by Grayson. Okay. The deputy responsible for shooting, Sean Grayson, 30, was terminated from his job and arrested on July 17th. He faces 5 counts: aggravated battery, official misconduct, and 3 counts of first-degree murder. Due to Grayson's disregard for human life and access to firearms, State's Attorney John Milheiser moved to deny him pretrial release, which was granted on Thursday. Grayson was placed in the custody of the Sangamon County Sheriff awaiting trial. He appeared before Sangamon County Court the following day, where he pled not guilty on all counts. Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell issued the following statement of the released video. Sonya Massey lost her life due to an unjustifiable and reckless decision by former Deputy Sean Grayson. Grayson had other options available that he should have used. His actions were inexcusable and do not reflect the values of training or office. We now face judgment with the criminal justice system. He will now face judgment with the criminal justice system and will never work in law enforcement again. Now that's interesting. I say it's interesting because, to add to this story, this was his 6th job in the last 4 years. Mrs. Massey needlessly lost her life, and her family deserves answers. I trust the legal process will provide. This incident does not reflect the values of our law enforcement community. That's interesting. It was a tragic decision made by an individual who had the training, the tools, and experience to know that. We are committed to holding the standard that prevents from such tragedies from occurring in the future. Okay, let's just cut the deal. Let's just cut to the chase, okay? Before I go into anything, I'm going to go ahead and for those who has not had the opportunity to see the video, I'm going to play the video. Let me warn you that this video is graphic. It's very hurtful. It's kind of hard to watch it. So if you cannot deal with it, you probably want to look away for a second. Or if you're watching this by replay, you can probably just rip all right past it or something. But don't miss the show. Don't miss the show. Give me 1 second while I get that video loaded up for you in the meantime. In the meantime, I am going to say hello to Cheryl. How you doing, sweetheart? And whoever's in the chat out there. How y'all doing? Hold on, here we go. So let me add this to the screen so that you guys can see this. Oh, there we go. Is this really? Let me see, guys. I just want to make sure I got the right video up for you. Cue and my heart really goes out to this family. It's such a sad. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. Okay, let me see it, guys. I think I got it loaded. All right, guys. Loaded up. Okay. Pay close attention. Here we go with the hands.
You called us. So what'd you hear?
Somebody outside my house. Illinois State Police released body cam footage showing the final moments of Sonya Massey's life, the Springfield area woman who was fatally shot by one of the responding deputies to a 911 call she made. Massey called 911 because she thought an intruder was in her home, according to the lawyer representing her family.
We checked your yard. We walked around the whole block. We didn't see anybody.
Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson and another deputy responded to the call around 12:50 a.m., authorities said. The deputies searched the property and found no intruder. The deputies then asked Massey to check on a pot of boiling water on the stove.
Check on her. We don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I
Rebuke you in the name of
You better not. I swear to God, I'll straight your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot! Drop the pot! I'm gonna go get my kid. No, it'd be a headshot, dude. She's done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot. God damn it. God. Dude, I'm not taking boiling water to the head. Hey, look, it came right to our feet, too.
Grayson has been indicted on 3 counts of first-degree murder and a count each of aggravated battery with a firearm and official misconduct. The sheriff's department has fired Grayson. At his arraignment, Grayson entered a not guilty plea and was denied pretrial release, according to court records. CNN reached out Saturday to Grayson's attorney, who
Okay. So now that is the doctored version. That's just the doctored version. That's not the actual version. Because the actual version of it will show you exactly when the shot was fired and the way that she, the position that she fell. Okay, now before I go into this any further, I'm going to go to the autopsy report. And then we can go into discussing. Bring that up. I'm going to go right to the autopsy report, which was read by some of these windows so slow. It was read by the attorney. I apologize, by attorney Ben Crump. And give me 1 second. Hey sis, welcome to the panel. I didn't get a chance to reading the comments yet, but I'll be down here in a minute, y'all. I just want to make sure that I got my I had the video loading and just give me a sec. Oh, here it goes. So I want to. Oh, that was the wrong one. Give me 1 second. That's the wrong one. I want you all to see the one that that Ben Crump did in the because he shows the actual printout from the coroner, the report from the coroner, and he presented a part of it. Personally, I would love to be alone with Mr. Trigger Happy, man from the town. The amounts of pain applied will be unforgivable. God is my witness. Some things are not forgivable. Yeah, bro. Hey, Cheryl. Thank you for tuning in, sweetie. Hey, sis. How you doing, babe? She must have stepped away from her thing. Okay, y'all. I'm going to get ready to share this video and let's see. Okay, hold on, give me a second. There are so many things to this particular so many components to this that it's just the whole thing is unfortunate. The whole entire picture is unfortunate. I'm trying to make sure. I hate when you go to these the videos and they have so many videos of the same thing that when you get ready to play it, I mean, not the same thing on the same page. Then when you get ready to play it, it's always the wrong video. So yeah, let's go ahead and share this. Okay, this is a video. I want to see that.
1 second.
But maybe this actually showed up.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
Rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Nah, I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot! Drop the pot! Drop the pot!
19 shots fired.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Drop the pot! Bring him
See, obviously, but I did see it. Hey, sis, you back? Are you back, mamas? You got me. 1 second, you got it.
Okay, I'm here.
There you go. There she go.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, we were I said you were probably doing some little last minute thingy things before you. Okay, I'm trying to. Hopefully, this is the video I'll do. Hopefully, so. I want you to know. Okay, so while that's loading, you all right today, sis?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Girl, this thing got me like feeling some kind of way, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people
some kind of way.
feeling some type of way. This right nationwide.
Yeah. So I am waiting to. There was a video of Brent Crump talking about the autopsy, and I was trying to pull it up. Shoot. I was trying to pull it up, and maybe that's why. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the picture. That's really all I want. Okay. So I'm gonna keep that. Can I make that one big? don't want to drink it. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'll show it to you in 1 second. I'll show it to you in 1 second. Here we go. I'm not going to play the whole video because it's lengthy, but I can put the link to it in the video. All right, here we go. Let me share with you guys. Just need to make sure. Okay, I ain't got like, Okay, so here we go. But I'm going to fast forward with some of this because you know how sometimes they have been waiting for a while before.
We have the honor of representing the family of Sonya Massey. Present with us today is her son, Malachi Massey, her uncle, Raymond Massey. Also with me is Cliff Jones, who's going to assist me today as we talk about the results of the autopsy. Before we do that, I want to also talk about an update as we continue to probe and find out all the reasons why this tragedy happened leading up before the killing and the aftermath of the killing. We talked about how the family wanted a thorough investigation as to why they didn't know until 24 hours later that the person who had shot Sonya Massey was a law enforcement official. Why weren't they told that from the very beginning when they showed up asking who did this? Malachi talked about how he was on the phone with the hospital officials, and he kept asking, they kept saying somebody shot her in her face, and told him in graphic detail at 5 o'clock in the morning what happened to his mother, but never told him who. Shadir and Jimmy went to the house at 6 a.m. that morning when law enforcement was all around. They kept asking the questions. Who did this? What happened? It was the sheriff's deputy, Sean Grayson, who had shot her in the face. They seemed to be led to believe that it was some prowler or something because they started asking questions. Every time they would ask questions, they would be given questions. What was the history between her and the neighbor? And so it was troubling. So we wanted investigation. And I say we, the family, passionately wanted an investigation into that there because they are suspicious of everybody and everything. Wouldn't you be if this happened to your daughter, your mother? And then we talked with the Department of Justice because we want to know more about the history of this sheriff's deputy who so flagrantly and senselessly shot and killed Sonya Massey with no remorse, no humanity after he did it, evidenced by the video. People contacted our office since we've had the press conferences, Teresa, and this is why we continue to try to fight not only in the court of law, but in the court of public opinion, because we know we have to fight to get justice. We don't assume. Transparent and very respectful to them as victims. And so he made sure that this autopsy report was released, and it should give you a lot of the things, answer a lot of the questions that you all asked previously. The biggest thing on the autopsy are the findings, and we will go through those. The conclusion is based on the information available to me and on the autopsy findings. It is my opinion that Sonya Massey, a 36-year-old Black woman, died as a result of a gunshot wound to the head. And then it goes on to in more detail. And it says the gunshot wound of the head, the entrance was beneath the left eye.
Okay, y'all. So I said something earlier when I stopped the video, but I forgot I muted my mic. I'm so sorry. What I wanted to say is, up to this point, we have found out now from the initial report that the family got when they found out that she was no longer with us, was that she passed away from a self-inflicted wound. That was the initial thought, or the initial report. And this is supposedly what went over the airways, and what went into the hospital. Because if people don't know, I worked in the emergency room for like 15 years. There, when the ambulance is on the way, it calls ahead to the hospitals to let you know that there's an incoming patient, and it tells you whether it's a medical, whether it's trauma, or whether resuscitation is needed. So usually if it's medical, it could be anything from a cough cold to a heart attack. Anything trauma, it results from a fire or some type of traumatic event. And if it's a resuscitation, it means that the person is not breathing and needs to be resuscitated. So when you call in advance, they'll tell you whether they have a non-responsive Black female suffering from a self-inflicted wound. That's what went over the airways. And when you hear it, or when the EMS releases it, the fire department, the police department, and it also goes over the scanners also. So you can get an opportunity to hear what's coming in to the hospital. So according to that, they said we were expecting a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but this is no way self-inflicted at all. Someone shot her. is what the nurse told, or the medical professional told the son. Someone shot her. He asked who? She said, someone. Okay, so now we're here, and you see, and he'll show you on the sketch. She was shot below the left eye. The entry was below her left eye. Okay? First of all, after we go through this video, we're going to go through the other one. But first of all, she was 5'1", 110 pounds. He's 6'5", 260 pounds. Two of her. Literally. He doubles her almost in size and weight. So when he aimed, as well as when she was ducking down, dropped the stuff and ducking from him to cover herself, and when she came back up with her hands up with nothing but 2 pot holders in her hand, he shot 3 times. She was number one, she was no threat to him. Number 2, he already had a height advantage over her, and he did not have to even come closer. He walked into where the water would have gone had she thrown it at him, if that's what in fact she was going to do, and she wasn't. Not only that, the bullet went in through her left eye and went downward, perforating the brain and coming out at the back of her neck, the very bottom of the neck, between the base of the skull is where it came out. Okay, so he had a lot of height over her. She was no threat to him. Not only was she smaller than him, but she was down, squatting down to duck from him when she was shot. It was no need. Okay, so okay, let's go ahead and go on with this. So,
Injury, proliferation of
he's trying to
the
say
left
proliferated
internal carotid
and the cerebral. And yeah, he's talking about the brain.
subra. I'm looking at this word because I know Sonya Massey with her beautiful smile. But you have, as they said, the injury right beneath the left eye. And then they talk about how the exit is posterior left surface of the upper neck, below the ear, below her hairline. Now, why this is so significant, is it confirms that Deputy Sean Grayson shot in a downward trajectory. He shot in a downward trajectory. This autopsy findings, coupled with the video where we see her ducking, saying sorry, when she's making a motion coming up, that's how you get the downward trajectory. And you see on the video his arm, he aims down. He literally aims down. You see his arms braced in a downward trajectory. And we know that he walked 2 to 3 steps to his right, out away from the counter. where it was, we believe, from objective observation to get a better shot at Sonya Massey. And Sonya Massey was at the barrel of his gun. We see on the video what she did. She stooped down and said, sorry. And we believe that the bullet, the shot, was shot while she was in a stooping position coming up. And that's how you get the downward trajectory. And the autopsy confirmed.
Okay, so since that's one of the two videos, well, two videos. The first one that I wanted to stop and go through a little bit, but give me your input, baby.
I'm sorry, what's say?
I said that was two videos that I wanted to share, and give me your input so far.
Oh, well, my input is I hope that they get justice. The family
Right.
of
So
I hope they get justice because she didn't have to die.
absolutely not, especially when you see there were other alternatives if she were a threat. But here's the thing, she wasn't a threat. So not only did she not have to die, she shouldn't have died. You know, that's the thing. She should never have died. She was never a threat to him. She called to receive help. And now her family said just the day before, she had an encounter with the police the day before to receive mental help. So the police did a call out to her for mental support the day before, right? So they knew that the young lady suffered from mental illness. And there was, I'm sure, some type of history with her. But the thing of it is that she called for help. She was not a threat. Even when it pertained to him saying something about the boiling water. First of all, he instructed her to go to the stove. He asked her to go to the stove to turn the water off. Then when she turned the water off and picked the pot up to pour it in the sink, she had two pot holders on her hand, or within her hand. Picked it up to pour it in the sink. He said, step away from the steaming hot water. Now, wait a minute. First, that's way too much. Step away from the steaming hot water. Okay. Yeah. To me, it sounds like him making an excuse by emphasizing that the water is steaming hot. It was like it was like creating an excuse, a reason, setting it up to make it seem as if she were doing something, which makes me feel, yes, it was premeditated, which makes that first degree murder. Because it was something that he thought about doing. He gave thought to killing her. And then when she said, what did you say? He said, I said, step away from that steaming hot water. She said, step away. And she repeated it and said, oh, the blood of Jesus. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Now, I'm very familiar with that term. And usually when people say that, it's one or two things. They see something demonic in you, or they rebuke the fact that you would even think like that. Like, how could you think I would do so? I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. They don't agree with it, or she's disagreeing with it. So for him to step, already he had a high advantage over her. When he drew the gun out, from where he was standing, she ducked and said, "Oh, sorry." She ducked and threw her hands up, still with the pot holders in her hand. She said, "Oh, sorry." And as she was coming up, he had stepped around the corner to aim to get a better shot, and 1, 2, 3 to her head. As she was coming up, she had those 2 pot holders. The water was on the floor. It spilled. She no longer had, she dropped the water, she jumped down, and then he shot 3 times. She was in a squatting position, which means that she was humble, submissive, no threat. He ordered her to get the water in the first place, and then he created an avenue to make it seem like he was justified in what he was doing. And then the fact that he didn't turn his body camera on until after the fact, after the shooting. Had it not been for his partner, who also tried to render assistance to her, when the shooting officer told him, it was a shot, it was a headshot. Don't even worry about it. She's gone. She's done. It was a headshot. You can get it if you want to, but she's done. What? The partner went on and still tried to render her assistance until the paramedics arrived. Here's where it gets deeper. Where it gets deeper is when they told the family that she shot herself or she was dead, and told over the police that she shot herself. The doctors told them, nah, she didn't kill herself. Somebody killed her. And then the fact that the family didn't find out until days later that it was an officer-involved shooting, and they found out on the internet. Do y'all hear me? So listen. Why, in the name of good old-fashioned police work, did they rule that suicide with all these suspicious things that happened around it, and the footage, which I'm sure they pulled immediately? How did they let that lie go on? Why didn't the police officials speak up before the video went viral on the internet and they found out? After her uncle Googled the address and pulled up the footage. Was it all inside? Not to mention that this officer had 6 jobs in the last 4 years, and a discharge. He not only was his DD-14 said he was kicked out the Army. It doesn't say he was honorably or dishonorably discharged. It said he was kicked out, and he had committed a crime that was so gruesome that the military couldn't even try him for it. So he was kicked out. Still got jobs at 6 different agencies in the last 4 years. Allegedly, he's lying on his applications, and they're not doing good background checks because 2 of those jobs he was dismissed from for alleged excessive use of force. One person is thinking of coming forth, and the other one said, I'm done. I just don't want nothing to do with it. Justice system ain't never done nothing for me. So they don't even want to speak up. But he had at least two other victims before her. He should have never been a police officer. Never. What was it that he was kicked out of the military? The military records are still so. Will we ever find out? But this guy shot and killed this woman in her own home for nothing. Another black life. Blood spilled. Senselessly. And the way that the justice sees it is without empathy, because nothing has been done about it. The George Floyd law has not been passed. Look how many people has gone since then. And when you see her face, when I see her face, I see Sonya Massey. I see Korean, I can't think of her name, in Baltimore. Young lady that was killed in her apartment. When the police was just coming to serve a search warrant that they could have mailed in the mail. And they came in and gunned her down and also wounded her kid, her 3-year-old son at the time. Gaines, Korean Gaines. They came in her apartment. It's all just a circle of events that it has to come to an end. It has to come to an end. It's just extremely hurtful. Sis, you want to jump in here?
Yeah, the sad thing about it is the fact that it happens all the time. I mean, these policemen, most of the time when they have been either convicted or charged or investigated for some type of violent or abuse of power in their position, most of the time it's been happened already before, more than once, over the span of years. And the stuff like gets swept under the rug or they get protected by the boys in blue. I mean, this isn't nothing new. It's very familiar. I hate that it happened again. I really do hope that he get as much time as possible for what he did. But like I said, they're very good at covering up their people because they don't want to be up here to look at as, you know, let me keep this clean, as the corrupt department that they are. As the corrupt, every police department got corrupt people in it, all bad apples. And what do? They cover them up, clean them up, dust them off to make them look pretty. And that's exactly what they did. Just like the sergeant when you was talking about when he went to jail. I mean, when he got put out the military, his former, first sergeant lied and wrote a recommendation letter for the Auburn Police Department saying that aside from his DUI, there was no other issues that he had during his tenure in the U.S. Army. And from what we found out from the Army, he probably did something very heinous in the Army. Will that come out in court? I'm hoping so, because I would really like to know why he was bouncing around. But it don't take much to figure it out. He was bouncing around because he did something wrong. At some of the departments, it says he left voluntarily. You know what that means? That means you need to quit or we're going to fire you. So you can resign or we're going to fire you. You know what I mean? So I'm sure it's probably a lot of shit that he done. And the people in the past who he hurt or, injured or abused his power on them, I wish they all would come forward. Even the one that said, what has justice do for him? I mean, you never know. You never know. But yeah.
So how does this make you feel knowing that you have two black men as sons, and there's a possibility that they could be pulled over by a police officer like this? How does it make you a little more nervous? You know, pray over them before they leave out. I mean,
It doesn't
how
make
does
me
it?
more nervous than it did than when they were first born.
Okay,
Because I mean, this happens all the time. It's not like a new incident where I'm like, oh God, my kids, my sons. You know, every parent feels that way about their kids who are black. And not just a black son, but a black daughter. I mean, every incident is like, okay, here's another one. You know, you're still going to continue to tell your children, you know, be careful, especially when you're around the police. Keep your hands where they can see them. I mean, I don't feel no different about this when it goes to my children. I feel sorry for the family. I hate it happen, but it's like I don't think it'll ever stop happening. That's my thing. I don't think it'll ever start happening. Do I fear for my children's safety any more than I did last week or the month before? No, because it's so common.
and
You know what
that's
I
too bad.
mean? It's
That's too
like
bad. That is
people
terrible,
get killed by
sis.
police all the time. It's like I don't get more fear every time it happens. It's just like it's just a constant thing. And I try not to think about it because who just wants to think about is their child safe today? Is they gonna get killed today? Is they gonna run into a cop today? So I don't really think about that, you know, in that way. But I know that it's a possibility that it could happen to anybody. It could happen to me. I could call the cops to come and, you know, think I heard somebody bust out my window. I'm scared to go to the basement and check, and I could be killed. It can happen to anybody. And that's the sad part.
That's so unfortunate. It's so sad. It's just so sad. It's so sad. Bro made a comment. His records, including military, is not too confidential. They're always to get information on everything in existence. They want to wipe their hands clean of him because they know he's about to. Yeah, but listen, he pled not guilty. He pled not guilty. He said he was justified. He innocent. He didn't do nothing wrong.
And that's probably how he feels. I mean, that's probably how he feels. Most cops feel like they got a right to do what they want, and they feel like their people, their job, their boys in blue, they gonna defend them and stand by them. And that's probably what he's accustomed to, getting away with a whole bunch of shit. We don't really know what all he's. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. Dang, forgot where I was. But we don't know what all he's done in his past, or you know, in the military or with law enforcement. And I'm looking forward to finding out. Like, why was he bounced around? Why did he resign here? Why did he resign there? Why did he get let go here? I'm looking forward to that because that could mean if they win this case, that could mean a bigger lawsuit. Not
Right.
just
That's what
one
I'm
police
saying.
department,
There were
but it can
two.
trickle down and be a domino effect.
If those two people came forward, that will be telling as well. If the two people that one was convicted of something, and the other one, I believe that was unprovoked, but I'm not sure. But it would be very interesting to, to find out. But I just wanted to shed some light on this situation. We are on an hour, and I'm going to go ahead and keep my word, not keep you long. I know you just finished working, and I appreciate you for joining. I'm grateful to everybody that stopped through. Thankful for my brother who thought he was going to be with battle today. But I'm grateful to all of you that dropped through. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Make sure you share, and sub. Invite somebody else to sub. All right. Also, you can support the panel. Both mine and my sister's cash apps are right under our names, $SISLO and $hood table. Well, she don't have the hood table 402, but that's what it is. $the hood table 402. Thank you guys for tuning in. Leave your comments under the video. If you are requesting any of the information I use, I will be glad to um, post it in the comments or under the video. I thank you for tuning in. I love you on purpose. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Sis, you got something you want to say in closing.
I just want to say for everybody, just keep that family in your thoughts and prayers because again, this young lady, regardless of her age, they say she's 36. She's a young lady still, a mother, friend, sister,
Which
cousin. It's sad. It's sad that it continues to happen. Keep them in your prayers, and if you have been a victim of this police officer, come forward. Come forward because you already know how hard it is to make stuff stick on these police officers. Even though it might seem like it's just cut and dry, they're going to throw the book at them, they're going to throw the key away. That's how it always looks. But we done seen what history has shown us time and time again. So if you are a victim of this police officer, if you have filed complaints and nothing ever got done, come forward. Contact the attorney. What's his name?
Ben Crump.
Ben Crump. Contact attorney Ben Crump. That's all I have to say.
All right. And again, our thoughts and prayers are with the Massey family and all of the other families. Keep your babies close and keep the word of God and the Lord even closer. And yeah, we'll see you guys later tonight on the Hood Table. Friday Night Live. Yeah.
I don't know. I might have some people missing in action because they be calling in absent. So I don't know. When I do roll call, we'll see.
when you do roll call, make my phone ring. Because those are my sleeping hours. I'll wake up. But those are my sleeping hours. I'm so old, I go to bed.
It's okay. I don't be tripping, trust me. I go live so many times a week. I do not be tripping. I'll be like, ooh, I guess I relax. Yes, I relax. But yes. Bro, tell sis we love her too. I know you probably working.
Yeah,
I love you guys.
I miss her.
Hopefully I'll be able to see you guys later tonight.
Love y'all on purpose.
All right, love you too. All right, chat.
Hey.
I'm out. Bye.